I'm finally done with all the things on my hands. I'm posting this video today not to win anyone's sympathy, but because I really can't bear it anymore. My company failed, and I have experienced too many disappointments in life. Now I'm in debt for 260,000. I dare not tell anyone, not even my parents, because they are old. I am afraid they will be painful and cannot bear it. I am not young anymore. I am 40 years old. China's real estate crisis and economic downturn, coupled with the CCP's crackdown on private and foreign companies, have led to high unemployment, weak domestic demand, and a return to poverty among the middle class. A survey shows that 80% of Chinese consumers believe that they are downgrading their consumption. The phenomenon of consumption downgrade in first-tier cities is shocking. Whether it's Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, or Shenzhen, the former consumption boom has now subsided. Instead, people are tightening their belts and wallets, and many young people have begun to save money. The reduced consumption causes the once bustling shopping mall to become deserted. Today, we are going to talk about the topic of Chinese consumption downgrade. But before we do, we would like to invite you to subscribe. Your support is our greatest motivation and allows us to bring you more valuable content. Now, moving on. In the first half of last year, the total retail sales of consumer goods in first-tier cities fell across the board, with Shenzhen falling by 2.5%, Beijing falling by 6.3%, and Shanghai and Guangzhou being even worse, with declines of nearly 10%. Don't underestimate these numbers. Behind them, it means that countless restaurant owners and retail business owners are suffering, and it means that the consumption power of Chinese people has collapsed. We can tell the extent of the downgrade in local middle-class consumption from what happened recently in Shanghai. First, the middle class used to like to go to the fitness chain in Wales for fitness, but last year Wales encountered a business crisis, and a wave of bankruptcies broke out since the end of last year. Wales mainly targets the middle and high-end classes in Shanghai, and more than half of the consumers are middle class. The economy has been bad in the past 2 years, and fewer people are taking private lessons. The biggest profit point is gone, and Wales can't even pay the rent. Secondly, some high-end postpartum care centers in Shanghai have also begun to close. Why can't these centers hold on any longer? Ordinary people can't afford to go, and the middle class, who used to be the main consumer group, no longer go there. There are also fewer students in international schools in Shanghai than before. In the past, middle-class families wanted their children to receive a better education and move up in social status, so they like to send their children to international schools. However, since last year, many middle-class families have transferred their children to public schools because their income has decreased, and the expensive tuition fees are too heavy a burden. These middle-class people in Beijing who own cars and homes and earn hundreds of thousands of dollars a year used to have no worries about the affordability of living. So, why has their consumption been downgraded now? The first and most significant reason is that the house prices in Beijing have dropped. Originally, the property was worth $1.4 million, but after the price dropped, his assets directly became $1 million, which directly shrunk by $400,000. If you bought a condo with a loan and have to pay back the mortgage every month, how can you dare to consume? Additionally, Beijing's economy is not actually very good right now. Many large companies are cutting salaries and laying off employees, and many small businesses are also struggling, especially the physical industry, especially the catering industry, which is simply too competitive. We went to the New World restaurant for dinner 2 days ago. It was a very large restaurant, about 100 to 200 square meters. There were a few people eating at 12 noon. How could the restaurant not lose money? No one is making money now, so where is the money for consumption? Let me tell you an outrageous situation in Shanghai now. The middle class in Shanghai don't get married or have children. For a friend who owns 3 condos in Shanghai, 1 condo in Sanya, and 2 properties abroad, to what extent has his consumption been downgraded now? Yesterday, I was hanging out with this friend and asked him if he wanted to order something to drink. Let's drink together. She told me, I won't drink coffee that costs more than $4 now. At the time, I thought, this is Shanghai, where can I find coffee for less than $4? Later, she took me to a Starbucks, and I thought a cup of Starbucks would cost at least $4. She took out her cell phone. She didn't order directly in the store. I saw that the coffee, which originally cost $5, only costs $3 when you order it on the phone. Then she said to me, see, there really is coffee for less than $4. In China, more and more Generation Z buyers are choosing substitutes, high-quality replicas of brand-name items. Although these imitations are not cheap fakes, they are much cheaper than the original ones. For example, Lululemon leggings are priced at $103 on the official Chinese website. If you search for yoga pants on Chinese e-commerce sites, you'll find other options priced as low as $5 that claim to be of the same quality as the original brands. As the economy of mainland China continues to decline, the unemployment rate is getting higher and higher, especially among young people. The pressure of life is increasing, and many youth are starting to save money to cope with an uncertain future. On the social platform Xiaohongshu, also called Red Note in mainland China, many young people share their experiences in saving on shopping expenses. Some influencers joined. There have been more than 1.5 million posts on how to save money, with a total of 130 million views. Young people must learn to downgrade their consumption. In the past, I earned a monthly salary of $2,740 and lived a so-called exquisite life, drinking a $5 cup of coffee every day and going to restaurants, bars, entertainment, and shopping from time to time. Living paycheck to paycheck and overspending were synonymous with my life before. I pursued temporary happiness and fell into the trap of consumerism. After I learned to downgrade my consumption, I found that I could buy 1 kilogram of pork ribs with the money of a cup of coffee, and that $14 could buy so many snacks in the supermarket, enough for me to eat for a week. I didn't like shopping in supermarkets before because I thought it was too troublesome and it was more convenient to shop online and have the items delivered to my door. But now I realize that supermarket discounts are more cost-effective than some software-based discounts. This is 14 cents for Coke, 14 cents for snacks, and 14 cents for daily necessities. In fact, consumption downgrade does not mean not consuming, but saving a lot of unnecessary consumption, ensuring the quality of life while having cost-effective choices. If we spend $5 a day on a cup of coffee, that's $150 a month, or $1,800 a year. But we can buy a coffee machine and make our own coffee for only 40 cents a time. $140 can be spent at a bar for a night, or it can be used for a year's gym expenses. You can also use the $700 or $800 saved in a year to travel and open your mind.
用1年省下的5、6千去旅游开阔眼界。
25岁女生应该有多少存款？我是98年的。
How much savings should a 25-year-old lady have? I am 25 years old and this is my savings. Do you think it's a lot or a little? Although it's not much compared with my peers, it's the maximum ability of an ordinary person with a bachelor's degree like me. I graduated from college last year and came to Guangzhou to work as a photographer at a medical beauty company. At the beginning, my monthly salary was only $700, but now I can get almost $1,400 per month. I save a fixed amount every month. I calculate my expenses every month, and if I spend too much this month, I will save money next month. In terms of life, I don't blindly pursue big brands. The clothes, shoes, and bags I wear are all things that cost no more than $27. I seldom go to brick-and-mortar stores to shop. I care more about the use value and cost-effectiveness of items. I don't feel ashamed to use affordable things, nor will I spend beyond my budget.
也不会觉得丢脸，也不会超前消费。
社会上，但凡你有一丁点儿的存款，不管是5万还是10万。
In this society, as long as you have a little bit of savings, no matter if it's 5,000 or 10,000, as long as you have it, I tell you, then you are truly clear-headed. Don't ever believe nonsense like that money is earned, not saved, that the most important thing in life is to be happy, and we should enjoy it while we can. These words are for losers. One day when you need money to solve a problem, or the most realistic thing is that your family member is sick and urgently needs money, you can't even take out $1,400. When you have to go to relatives and friends to borrow money, you will know how helpless you are. The world looks down on you and discriminates against you. Let me tell you, the hospital will save a bad person, but it will never save a poor person. Think about it, right? And don't ever think that there is no need to save if you have a little money. Even if it's just a few $dozen, you should find ways to save it. Little by little, it will add up a lot. After all, if you have food in your hands, you will not panic when encountering problems. Slowly, you will find that your life will become more and more stable. Only those who have experienced a lot will understand this.
只有经历过的人才会懂吧。
为什么大环境这么差？
Why is the overall environment so bad? Because there are three types of people who discover the truth of the world. First, rich people find that their money is enough to spend as long as they don't invest it recklessly, so they stop investing. Second, the middle class found that as long as they didn't have children, they would have endless money to spend and they could still live comfortably, so they didn't have children. Third, it's even simpler for young people. As long as they don't buy a condo, get married, and don't have a mortgage, one person can feed the so-called whole family. And any money they earn is enough to spend, so they don't buy a condo or get married. What I found is that as long as you don't make reckless investments and don't fall into the traps designed by capital, you can save 90% of your troubles.
可以省去90%的烦恼。
Everyone has reduced their consumption, and the shopping mall that was once bustling with people is now deserted.
大周末的商场又没人。
It's the weekend and there's no one in the mall. Today is worse than yesterday. I'm almost out of work. Let me show you, there was no one in this aisle. It's past 6 p.m. now. We work until 8 o'clock on Saturdays and Sundays. I am now calmer and no longer anxious. I was very anxious some time ago and my face was covered with pimples every day. Now I have to come to terms with it and just go with the flow. If I get sick from anxiety and then spend money on medical treatment, I will be at a big loss. Just like what the sister in the store across the street said to me, don't worry anymore, just let it go. No one is doing well. It's okay to care about those things if you are capable of changing the market. The fact is that you can change, right? So don't worry. You see, there is no one here. Now I can hear some voices, but I don't know where they are coming from. Just hold on, there's still more than an hour before I get off work, so just wait to go home. I met with a group of customers today and they haven't decided when to do the renovation yet. I now particularly hope to see clients who are about to renovate their homes or who have already started renovating so that they can have a greater chance of signing the contract.
这样他能签单的几率要大一些。
The blogger said that there was a luxury shopping mall in the center of Tianjin with its doors locked and no one inside, and the surrounding area was overgrown with weeds.
我在天津市中心又发现了一座空无一人的商场。
I found another empty shopping mall in the center of Tianjin, which is the one behind me. The location of this mall is definitely in the center of Tianjin, and I was very surprised that there was no one inside. During my travels in Tianjin, I found that many shopping malls were either sparsely populated or, like this mall, completely empty. Let's go and check it now. Look, the building in front is the absolute city center of Tianjin, Jinwan Plaza. Many of Tianjin's skyscrapers are located in this area. The lawn in front of the mall about 100 meters ahead is the Italian-style area in the center of Tianjin. So just think about how good and advantageous the location of this mall is.
商场它的位置多好多优越呢！
你们不是都希望胖东来到你们的城市？
Don't you all want Pangdong Lai commerce to come to your city? Come and see our city. This is our new metropolis. There are still some people on the first floor, but the second, third, and fourth floors are basically empty. Turn over here and you will see Pangdong Lai Life Plaza. This is the Life Plaza. There are queues over there, but this side is completely deserted. How do you feel? This isn't a luxurious area. It's just across the wall from Pangdong Lai and all the shops are empty. Look, no one is renting such a big storefront.
全部都是空的，你看，这么大的门面，都没人住。
That's all for today. If you enjoy our content, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with a friend. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.